So Paul, can you tell me, where do you think the aviation industry is going now?
It's clearly the worst crisis that the aviation industry's ever faced, and I do fear, genuinely fear, for an awful lot of companies that are just not going to survive this. You've got, at the moment, probably 2/3 of the world's aircraft grounded. You've got billions upon billions of dollars worth of machinery sitting on the ground that's still costing somebody money. You've got hundreds of thousands of jobs that are dependent upon these aircraft going back in the air, and I really can't see a quick recovery. We all want one, but I just don't see it going to happen. People are not going to be confident to travel for some time to come.
The facilities that you have here, you know, with your engine plant and everything.
Yep. Well,
what you know, how will you sort of see?
Well, the engines, luckily, most of the engines we do are for also freighters, and freighters at the moment are in high demand. So I don't fear too much in terms of the freight market. That will keep us busy at a reduced scale from the engine point of view. But of course, we're bringing on half a dozen A340 freighters, and the great thing about the A340, it's the longest aircraft in the world, so it's actually got more hold space than any other aircraft, a 380 or a 747, and it's also got an awful lot of room in the cabin, as you're seeing today. So our plans are to initially do 5 of these, and probably, as we've got an awful lot more in storage, if the business plan works out, we'll keep on bringing aircraft on.
Are you using any other types of?
Well, we've got our 737 freighters. We've got 4 of them, and they dovetail quite interestingly when you get a split load where some of the load has to go to somewhere other than Bournemouth. Quite often we'll fill a load in the 737 and say take it to Malta or take it wherever the PPE has to go. So it's working out quite nicely with 5 of these, 4 737s, and the ability to ramp up to another 10 of these if we want to. I think the future at the moment, although challenging, there is a future which is an awful lot better than you could say for a lot of people who only have passenger planes, passenger routes, etc., who are not going to find, or are not finding, the recovery very pleasant.
How is it that you ended up in Bournemouth as your hub?
30 years ago we bought an awful lot of BAC 111s from British Airways, and they happened to be parked at Bournemouth, so at the time the company was selling the hangar as well, so that's really how it all started. We bought the planes and we bought the hangar to do the maintenance on them.
So Bournemouth and Dorset has become
become a part of my life for the last 30 years, yeah.
And whereabouts in Australia are you from?
Melbourne, so, which is interesting because one of the routes we're looking at now is carrying mail, and of course where's the mail going to? Melbourne.